Welcome to Motorsport Coaching, the podcast for racers with racers. Miss Motivate can help get you to the next level. Every episode, she talks to the best racers of today and those that can get you there. She'll help you get better
Racing News
at fitness, nutrition, sports psychology, sponsorship, social media, public relations, and media training. Connect with Miss Motivate at motivatetraining.com.au. That's MOTIV8 training.com.au. And now, to help get you to the next level, Miss Motivate herself, Belinda Risley.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Motorsport Coaching. I'm your host, Belinda Risley. Today I'm very excited to be joined by Mary Ingle. Mary is an avid motorcyclist and has been working in the motorcycle industry over the last 5 years in various forms, from volunteering to officiating, coaching, working in sales of parts and accessories, and most recently as a Vic Roads accredited assessor of Honda Australia riding team, formerly known as Heart. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited to hear about your past in motorsport, but let's start off. How did you get involved in motorsport?
I actually got my motorbike license after my husband said he wanted one. I sort of made that the deal with him. You know, you can get yours if I can get mine.
Oh, awesome.
And I actually didn't really have any reason to do it. It wasn't for commuting or anything. It was just really for fun. Something, you know, sort of like a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
And once I did that, I you know, you start noticing how many bikes are really around and on the road or on TV or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, where are all the girls? You know, this is such an amazing thing to do. Where are the other women who are trying this out and, you know, maybe having the same feelings that I'm having about, you know, nervousness or various different things. So that's really the very beginning of the whole story of how I got to where I am now.
Oh, fantastic. And do you do road bikes or track bikes or both, or what do you ride?
Okay, so I ride a road bike currently. It's the Honda CBR 600 F4i. That one I do use it as a commuter now, and I also have exactly the same bike as a track bike. I've just got my hands on a little 250 Ninja to have a go on the track on that one, just to see, you know, what I can do with that. But yeah, mostly it's on the road to get around the place, to go on social rides every now and then when I've got the time, and a little bit of track riding too.
So coming from 4 wheels to 2 wheels, I'm going to ask that question that you preach. Are you nervous driving on the roads?
Yes and no. So I guess my philosophy on it is I've registered this vehicle. I have every right to be in this lane and use the whole lane, and to travel around with obviously as much awareness as I possibly can. So nervousness, I think, comes in when there's a lack of possibly skill and a lack of the experience, and also I guess having road knowledge, so local knowledge and road rules, road knowledge that way. So all of those things sort of compound when you a little bit on the inexperienced side. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah, I could imagine. So you've worked with various roles through the motorsport community. What is your current role?
Currently, I work for Heart, which is Honda Australia Rider Training, and I'm based in Somerton in Victoria, and I work from the range there, also at Kilsyth and at Tullamarine. So my job is as a trainer and assessor, and I get to meet all of the excited learners and run them through their program. So this is people who they've never touched a bike before in their life, or they've ridden on the farm for 20 years and they finally want to make themselves proper and legal, you know.
Yeah.
So, I meet massive range of people, and I have a ball teaching them these programs. So it honestly is so much fun. And we use these, I suppose you would call them little bikes. So they're CB125, tiny little things, and we just ride circles and round and around on the range. And honestly, I've done so many laps. I have to say, I still love it. These little circles around the range.
And what would you say is the best part of your job? Obviously, there's lots of good moments.
Yeah, the best bit, I think, is when I can see that the demonstration of the skills and the practice of the skills is starting to click for people, and it's changing in their demeanour and their expression of their own confidence while they're riding around. So you'll see very, very nervous on the controls to start with from the beginning of the first day, and then beginning to sort of put it all together and scaffold the different parts of the information so that they're becoming smoother and more relaxed. And then the smile on the face is fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure it's pretty amazing for them as well. So what are some of the challenges? Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you face?
Challenges can be, I almost hate to even bring up the topic really, but I'm the only female instructor at Heart there. Mm-hmm. And of course there's lots of lovely ladies that work at Heart, but they have different roles. I'm the only one outside with the riders and facilitating the courses. So my colleagues are all guys. They're fantastic guys. I do notice the students can have maybe a preconceived idea of what my method is going to be, the way that I deliver the curriculum. And if they, I guess, maybe feel that they're going to receive the best quality training coming from a woman. So a little bit sad to even go there, but definitely something that it exists. And what I find is by the end of the second day of the learner program, 2-day course, these guys they're just full of praise. They're really happy. They've relaxed, and the group has sort of bonded a little bit. And they by the end of the day, they can tell me that they've had a wonderful time and they've learnt heaps.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that's nice.
Yeah, of course. It's just getting over that initial barriers about what they think in their mind is right and wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, I still got that tickle in my throat. So you've worked across many roles within the sport. How did you get involved in volunteering?
When I was first licensed, I was just so excited to be riding around, and then, like I said, it was a little bit harder to spot the girls on the bikes, and so I decided I would turn to Google and find out where are the women in Melbourne, around Melbourne, and what are they doing, and I managed to come across Motorcycling Victoria's website, and there was a great big tab there pointing to women's participation in motorsport, and clicked on that. There was, of course, another link saying, would you like to be involved? Of course I would. Click on that, and that's really how I got there. So going in through MV, of course, they encourage as many people as possible to put their hand up for the volunteer role. So they will offer the officials course, and that covers all of your trackside. Really, the people that help to run the event. So it was through Motorcycling Victoria. Long story short.
That's cool. And so you've worked out through volunteering and then doing some officiating.
So helped out trackside for the MotoGP a couple of years ago. That was amazing. Everybody there in you end up being assigned into a team, and the head of the team sort of gives you a little bit of training within that small group. So you end up obviously practicing your flags, and you end up learning how to use the communication units too, which is awesome to be communicated to the tower. So that was pretty exciting. Aside from Phillip Island, there's youth development programs held at Broadford Motorcycle Complex, and they're usually during school holidays. So that's when the kids are coming along with all their their bikes and their gear, and we put them through some drills, and it all contributes towards the hours they need to accumulate for themselves in their own competition.
Yeah, and is that more for your coaching role that you do with the kids during the school holiday program, or tell us a little bit more about the coaching aspect of your job?
Right, yeah, I guess, that particular one does lean more towards coaching. It's all of the coaches are volunteers, I guess, so it covers that aspect. Coaching on the road race track at Broadford as well was a real blast. So I have had the opportunity to demonstrate and I guess coach off the track too, women who have literally just got their license, so they have very I guess limited skills, and by the end of their day they were doing laps on the track and absolutely having a ball. And then more experienced riders too, helping them out, matching them with other coaches, or a little bit more of the administration in there as well. It's just such an awesome environment just to be involved. These are women on track days that are still being held by Motorcycling Victoria. They run 4 per year, and they're getting bigger and bigger. They're fantastic.
Fantastic. And are they all different ages, Mary?
The
Women in track days?
It is open. It's starting to become open to juniors now, but I guess because most people with bikes have a license, so generally they're mid-20s and up. That's what we're finding. But the juniors are around. They weren't always integrated into the girls' track days.
Excuse me. And do you find those that have a track license do drive on the road as well? Ride on the road, sorry.
Most people do. There are people who have had, bad experiences on the road, maybe been involved in an accident or come close to, or maybe, lost their license. So they might limit themselves to only riding on track just to get that exhilaration from their motorcycling.
And just talking about injuries and stuff, do you guys offer any sort of like emotional support? I'm thinking that the injury rate is quite high in motorcycling at track for competitors or people at the track during those events. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and I think that's actually a really good idea. There hasn't been, as far as I know, there hasn't been anything implemented that would cover that, but a very good idea. That's something to make a note of.
Yeah, just thinking of putting it out there. That's right, I'll edit that bit better.
Yeah, fantastic.
And so what kind of other roles can women do at the track?
Oh wow! Well, there's really all of the operational roles anybody can do. So, clerk of course, all of the stewards, the scrutineers, race secretary. Oh my goodness, there's so many. They always need people on flags, and then there's the administration side too. I guess every administrator would love to have a hand.
And so we talked about the track racing. Going forward with the actual race events, do many women actually compete?
Yeah, plenty. So, so to compete, plenty of clubs run their series, and that covers a few different tracks around Victoria. And one in particular is called, they run it as bracket racing, so that you compete with others who qualify in a similar time bracket. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of, I guess, weight off your shoulders about your own performance. And so getting into bracket racing is a really, it's a good first step, I'd say. So to hop on the track with your peers and just have a good time and see how you go. And I see a lot of my friends coming away with trophies and different, awards and things like that, and absolutely having a blast.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. I feel like I want to go out on the bike today.
Yeah, do it.
And if I did, Mary, where do I go to look to see when these open track days are available? And do you also offer, like arrive and drive type days?
Yeah, there is. And they tend to try and book these, for Victoria, especially the Women on Track days, to coincide with other international events. So there's the International Female Ride Day in May every year, and they try and schedule the track day to be on the same day. So groups of women will include the motorcycle complex in Broadford as one of their destinations and come to the track in massive groups, and they do have a parade sort of lap to be able to say that they've ridden on the track, similar to Phillip Island, I guess. Yeah. And very easygoing, all sorts of bikes come along, and bike riders and even scooter riders. There's sidecar outfits as well, getting out there. Yeah, it's awesome to see, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been in one of those. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, so much fun.
And is that day an actual like arrive and ride day?
Yeah, so you're meaning that it's low key, that you turn up, you put your bike in the pit, and then when your group is called out, you go out. Yeah, so not competitive at all. Mm-hmm. You just turn up and you do a few laps, and you experience what it's like to be on a track. It is pretty different to a road.
Yeah, and do you have any days where like we can actually utilize Heart's bikes? So like if I don't have a bike, can I just rock up and try a bike?
Right. Okay. So any kind of operating through Heart is, for me, it's going to be the licensing curriculum. So Heart is a separate part of my life, I suppose, to being over at Broadford. To do a track day through Heart, it is possible to do it. There's sort of few and far between these days. They will likely need you to have your own bike on the track, otherwise you'd be paying pretty big deposits.
Yeah.
So to use one of their bikes. Yeah. So I know the Superbike School do hire out bikes. That's a little bit out of my budget, so I've never really looked into it further. But in terms of what I actually do with Heart, yes, their bikes are there to use for the learner course, the check ride, and the license assessment. They also run private tuition, which you can use their bike for, and off-road stuff, all sorts of bits and pieces.
Yeah, and is it expensive to get your license?
I think it works out to about the same as getting a car license. So yeah, by the time you've done the 3 courses, it can be up around the $800-900 mark.
Mm-hmm. And what are the 3 courses that people need to undergo in order to get their license?
Okay, so for Victoria, they run the MGLS, which is the graduated licensing scheme now. So it's the 2-day learner course is compulsory for everybody. It used to be that you could choose a half-day course or do a full 2-day course. You chose that, but now compulsory 2 days. Following on from the learner course, there's a check ride, which is basically a coaching session in a group of 5, and the instructor will, I guess, make sure that that you are holding on to some of those skills from the learner course and applying them on road as your strategy to keep safe. And then finally the license assessment, which is not so much a course, it's really only the test. And so there's very little coaching involved. It's really show me what you can do now. Show me that you've been implementing all of these things.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
And how long does that process take?
So the assessment?
Yeah, like the 3 courses, is it something they just do over 3 weekends, or is it over a 6-month period?
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's up to the individual, but there are deadlines. So from the being given a learner permit, you have 15 months to then qualify for your license. If you don't do it within that time, you need to do your learner course again. So in that 15 months, you need to conduct your check ride, and the check ride must be done a month prior to your license assessment. So hopefully people are planning their check rides, after several months of riding around with a permit, do their check ride, and then a month after that, going for their license assessment.
Fantastic, Mary. Well, I'm excited about getting my license. How can people who are also excited find out more about Heart?
Heart has a website. They've got a really good presence online, and they're not just in Victoria. So they're in New South Wales, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia. So everywhere practically, and one of the leading motorcycle training companies. So very easy to find out, easy to find a phone number and make your booking.
I'll have that link in the show notes. And how can people connect with you? They're wanting to know something more about the program or coaching or anything really.
Okay, so something that I'm developing on my own is a company called Motocraft. And so to connect with me, to reach me directly at motocraft.com.au, or you could find me on Facebook under Motocraft as well. And I'm getting ready to be able to help people with not only their coaching and their road skills, but also having confidence with looking after your own bike, making small repairs, and being a little bit more self-sufficient. So a lot of the women I talk to don't have families who ride or who can support them with going out to buy their first bike, or how do I put it up on a trailer, or any of those things. So that's something that I'm looking forward to providing as a service and a way to really build the community.
Oh, sounds fantastic. We'll have to have you back on when that one's up and running.
Awesome. That'd be great.
And we always finish off with a favourite question. We always finish off with one last question. Is what is your favourite racetrack?
My favourite racetrack would have to be Phillip Island, I think. It is just stunning. Just stunning.
And
so if you haven't been there before, at least go and have a look at it.
And visit the penguins?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Mary. Really appreciate that. As I said, all the links will be in the show notes, and we'll look forward to talking to you when we've got Motocraft up and running.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Belinda. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to this week's show. I really hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Now, remember, all the show notes with the links and the specials mentioned in today's show are available over at motivatetraining.com.au. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could head to iTunes or Stitcher, type in Motorsport Coaching, subscribe, and leave us a review. Each week, I'll read them out, and you'll go into monthly draw to win a fantastic prize. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at motivatetraining.com.au or head over to our Facebook page at Motivate the Team. day. Until next time, take care.
Get ready for the race.
Do you feel one step closer to being the next superstar behind the wheel? MotivateTraining.com.au for more. MOTIV, 8, training.com.au.
The green flag.
Every episode gets you one step closer to the checkered flag. The Motorsport Coaching Podcast, getting you to the checkered flag faster.